Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. This is Kirk with Kirk's Woodwork. Today I'm going to kind of go over a few basics on wood turning things, but I wanted to start off with giving you some tips, tricks, and things that I've learned that helped me kind of get started, and things that I hope will help you kind of get going a little quicker. I had some things that I learned on my own, or things I tried that didn't work. So anything I can pass on that I've learned to avoid, certainly like to pass those tips on. So let's go ahead and get started. Today, what I've got right now in front of me is black walnut. I got all black walnut products here. So from the very start on your lathe, I've got a Bauer wood lathe right now, mini lathe that I use, and it works great. I started out with Central Pneumatic. It was a good lathe, broke a few things on it, tool rest and things like so on. So when you are getting your piece of wood, in this case we've got black walnut. This piece here, I actually do have a tenon already kind of turned out, but this is your piece in the round. So you got your chunk of log, you've got your section. Well, you don't just chuck your log up round. What you want to do is take and cut that round in half. Once you get that in half, then you will turn into that side. Essentially being that this is going to be the outside edges of your bowl. And another example of that would be like this, because your curved edges, or I don't know which would be a better example, like this one maybe even, to go from this to that. I mean, I think that's a pretty incredible feat. Especially with black walnut. You can't beat black walnut. So once you get it to that point, you get it to there. What I like to do, I like to get my circle, the largest diameter I can get. I can turn 14 inches on this lathe. So what I'll do is mark my center. I like using this, and I'll chuck this up in the lathe. I don't even take my head off the chuck. I chuck this up, find my center, and then I'll start there. Then I take my tailstock with the spindle end. I'll take the spindle and I'll drive the tailstock up until this is somewhat level and everything. You got it to where it's turning okay. One other thing, and I'll try and show some clips of this as we move forward on the channel. Any questions you all have that pertain to kind of getting started, getting going. I've been turning about 3 years now, so with wood. I had a friend of mine that showed me a lot that he had turned, so I learned a little bit from him. But when you do, one thing that I like to do is I really like to turn my face down first and get a good clamp on it, because the wood just turns better that way. Once you do that, then you can turn it around in your lathe. And I like chucking up, if I can, this way. So you grab on the tenon there, tighten it down, then you start finishing out your bottom. I've got another example here. It's a smaller one, but so we can take this bowl here and turn out all this bottom as I've got it chucked up on the front, similar as to what that would be. Once I get all this turned down, finished out, it's ready to go. Polish it. Sanding is key. If I can stress anything, it would be the sanding. So after that, we can go to this part, or from this part, we'll chuck up on the back, and actually you would be chucking reverse of what you would have been on the other side, where you would have been tightening down, you're going to be tightening out. So then I'll chuck it up in my lathe, and then this is where I would start finishing out the inside. Keep in mind your outside's already done. Hopefully you don't have no cracks or anything like that. This is a good walnut that I've got that turned out great. So same deal, chucked up on the inside, tightened out on there. Now, as I'm turning this, I get done, you want to try and find your depth and things like that. And I've got tips and things I plan to kind of roll out over time on portions of wood turning. But just for now, for getting started, this is an excellent, to me, beginner. These two tools here, when you start from your piece of wood, these two here, then of course you take this out, chuck up on here, and you can crank your RPMs up on some more. That way you can get to turning this a little better speed. You start, you know, making a little more headway. Once you get to that point and you're done with that outside, like I said, you flip it around, your bottom's done, start working your way down to the inside. These two tools, getting your piece of wood cut, there is a specific moisture content. I've turned a lot of this wood in the wet. It turns well wet. The only issue is it's gonna warp pretty bad. I've done some where I've warped some nice pieces, but if you leave enough on them, you can still go back later and chuck it back up. There's different techniques of drying and things like that. So for today though, I hope this has helped as far as getting your raw piece of material chucked up, started turning, and maybe kind of finished out. There's so many details between tools and different things like that in between that we could cover and hopefully can get to pretty soon. So like I said, any comments you have in regards to turning in general, turning black walnut, I've got pecan, different multiple species of wood I've turned. So tools I like to use carbide tools. That's probably not as popular. I know a lot of people like to take the time, sharpen their tools. That's time I could be turning. And anymore with Amazon, you can get on Amazon, buy your tools, you're done. Change your bit out, that's it. That's a big preference to me, is the carbide tools. And I'll try and get another video too for that one. We'll go over tools and things like that. So, but for now, for today, I at least wanted to drop a quick video just to show you some techniques, just to help get you started. And like I said, any questions, comments, I can jump to that, you know, topic next. And I really hope that this has been a help, that you like, subscribe to the channel. It really, you always hear it, but it really does help. You see all the metrics and things, and like for me to be able to do this channel, liking and subscribing will really help me continue this and to just help it grow, help grow in the wood turning community. And anyhow, please like, subscribe, and I appreciate any comments, anything y'all want to see in the future. Just let me know, and I'd be glad to help.